You sit down to learn something new with genuine motivation and curiosity. At first, everything feels possible and you are ready to make progress. But within minutes, the amount of information becomes overwhelming. There are too many ideas, too many steps, and no clear place to begin. This creates confusion and hesitation. In the scaffolding effect, this experience is not seen as failure, it is seen as a lack of structure. Without structure, even simple learning tasks can feel difficult. Today, information is everywhere and easily accessible. You can watch videos, read articles, and take courses at any time. But having access to more information does not always make learning easier. In fact, it often makes it more confusing. You move from one source to another, trying to connect the dots. This scattered approach slows down your progress. The book explains that learning requires organization, not just information. Your brain does not learn well through isolated pieces of information. It needs connections to understand and remember new concepts. When ideas are disconnected, they are harder to retain. This is why you may forget what you just learned. The book emphasizes that structured learning builds these connections. Each concept should link to another, and over time, this creates a strong foundation of knowledge. Many people try to learn everything at the same time. They believe that more effort will lead to faster results. But this approach often leads to overload. Your brain struggles to process too much information at once. The book explains that learning should be gradual. Each step should build on the previous one. This creates clarity and reduces overwhelm. When learning feels difficult, frustration builds quickly. You begin to question your ability to learn. This often leads to giving up too soon. But the problem is not your ability, it is the method. The book highlights that poor structure leads to frustration, and frustration leads to quitting. Changing your approach can change your results completely. Guidance plays an important role in effective learning. When someone shows you the process step by step, it becomes easier to follow. This reduces confusion and builds confidence. The book explains that guidance does not always require a teacher. It can come from a structured system. This system acts as a guide for your learning, and it helps you stay on track. Scaffolding is a structured approach to learning. It breaks complex skills into smaller, manageable steps. Each step builds on the one before it. This creates a clear path from beginner to advanced. The book explains that scaffolding reduces overwhelm and it makes learning more efficient. It is a simple idea with powerful results. When learning is broken into small steps, progress becomes visible. Each step feels achievable. This builds confidence over time, and confidence creates momentum. The book emphasizes that progress does not need to be fast, it just needs to be consistent. Many people believe learning has to be difficult, but this belief is often based on poor experiences. The book shows that learning can be structured and effective. Once you understand this, your perspective changes. You begin to approach learning differently, and this opens new possibilities. Understanding the problem is only the first step. The real challenge is applying a better method. How do you break down complex skills into simple steps? How do you build knowledge in a structured way? And how do you stay consistent over time? These questions are important. The foundation of scaffolding is starting small. Instead of trying to master everything at once, you focus on one simple step. This step should be clear and achievable. Completing it builds confidence, and that confidence prepares you for the next step. The book emphasizes that small wins are important. They create momentum and reduce overwhelm. Each step builds on the one before it. This creates a structured path for learning. You are not guessing what to do next. Instead, you follow a clear sequence. This makes learning more efficient and it reduces confusion significantly. Practice is essential for learning. It strengthens what you have learned. Repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity leads to confidence. The book highlights the importance of consistent practice. Without it, knowledge fades quickly. Feedback helps you improve. It shows you what you are doing right and what needs adjustment. This allows you to refine your approach. The book emphasizes using feedback as a tool. It helps you stay on the right path. As you improve, you rely less on guidance. This builds independence. You begin to solve problems on your own. This is an important stage of learning. It shows that your skills are developing. Over time, the skill becomes easier to perform. You no longer need to think about each step, it becomes automatic. This is the result of consistent practice, and it shows that your learning process is working. Consistency is what drives progress. Small actions repeated daily create results. The book emphasizes building a routine. This makes learning part of your life, and it ensures steady improvement. As you improve, your confidence grows. This motivates you to continue, and it makes learning more enjoyable. Confidence creates momentum, and momentum keeps you moving forward. Structured learning creates clarity. You begin to understand how everything connects. This reduces confusion, and it makes learning more efficient. The book highlights this as a key benefit. Learning faster is only part of the benefit. The bigger change is how you think about learning. You become more intentional and effective. This changes your approach to new challenges, and it creates long-term growth. The final part explores this transformation. At this stage, learning no longer feels overwhelming or chaotic. Instead, it becomes structured and intentional. You approach new skills with a clear plan rather than uncertainty. This makes the process feel more manageable and less stressful. Over time, this structured approach becomes second nature. You no longer guess what to do next because you understand how to build knowledge step by step. This shift makes learning feel smoother and more predictable. Learning is only valuable if you can apply it. With a structured approach, you begin to use your knowledge in real situations. This reinforces what you have learned, and it helps you gain practical experience. The book emphasizes that application is essential for mastery. Without it, knowledge remains theoretical. Applying what you learn turns knowledge into skill. Once you understand how to learn effectively, growth becomes continuous. You are no longer dependent on motivation alone. Instead, you rely on systems and habits. This allows you to keep improving over time. The book highlights that learning is a lifelong process, and scaffolding makes that process sustainable. Confidence grows as you see your progress. You begin to trust your ability to learn new things. This reduces fear and hesitation. You approach challenges with a different mindset. Instead of avoiding difficulty, you see it as part of the process. This shift is powerful and long-lasting. Better learning leads to better results. You are able to make consistent progress toward your goals. This creates a sense of achievement and it motivates you to continue. The book emphasizes that results come from consistent effort, and scaffolding makes that effort more effective. Reflection helps you recognize your improvement. You begin to see how far you have come. This reinforces your habits and it keeps you motivated. The book highlights the importance of awareness. It helps you stay on track. Teaching others is a powerful way to learn. It forces you to clarify your understanding and it strengthens your knowledge. The book encourages sharing what you learn. This benefits both you and others, and it reinforces your progress. As your skills improve, you begin to take on bigger challenges. You are no longer intimidated by complexity. Instead, you break it down into manageable steps. This approach allows you to tackle difficult tasks and it builds resilience. Learning becomes part of how you live. It influences your habits and decisions. You become more intentional in your actions. This creates a balanced and focused lifestyle, and it supports long-term growth. This book teaches a better way to learn. It shows that structure is more important than effort alone. When you use the right system, learning becomes more effective and it becomes more enjoyable. This changes how you approach growth and it creates lasting results. If you made it this far, think about one skill you want to learn next. Break it down into small steps and start today. Let me know your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you enjoy deep, practical book summaries like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one.